welcome to today's episode of Spice at Night.
Amanda Spice.
And I am Denise the Nice. Welcome to our 179th episode.
Wow, that's a very big number.
It's a big number. Okay. It is a big number, so today we're going to talk about a big topic.
Mm-hmm.
Leadership is one of Anne's favorite topics, whether she actually likes it or not.
I don't like it.
Sometimes she doesn't, most of the time she doesn't like it. Okay, today we're going to talk about hidden signs of a great or terrible leader. In other words, how do you spot the green flags and the red flags in a leader? Okay, and we'll talk about it from a leader's point of view. I will talk about it from a aspiring leader or somebody who has worked before under leader's point of view. How about that? Okay. For me, okay, I will talk about my first green flag. Okay, but
Okay, let's talk about green flag first.
Okay, but the biggest green flag for me, the biggest green flags for me, is whether the leader that I am going to be under is open-minded or not. Okay. Open-minded and willing to learn. I think these two is quite together. If you're open-minded and you're willing to learn, then how do I tell whether this person is open-minded? Last time when I go for interview, I used to hide. Or not hide lah, I will, like it's marketing when you market yourself. So I will market myself. I'll be like, oh, this, that, whatever it is. But nowadays, I will purposely say something that I know is me, but I also know that it's not normal. For example, there is like a 2 or 3 year gap in my resume ever since I stopped work in the corporate until now. So now, if let's say I go for interview, people ask me why that, I would just say I stopped to focus on my hosting on my YouTube channel. And if the person looks like, oh, and the person cannot get it in the head, it means this person is not as open-minded. Does it make sense? So it's like a test. But it requires courage to test. So that is my biggest green flag, and whether the leader actually supports my growth. Like if I say I want to learn something or I want new opportunities, does my leader try his or her best to give me something to learn, something new to learn? Does it make sense?
Yeah, the whole new world right now also the kind of hiring people. I think even for HR is the whole new set of skill and
Yes.
requirement that people have to change, right? Because the world not the same.
Mm.
Every day something new in the world that requirement the new skill. Even people cannot even figure out how to write that in the right manner of what exactly the business missing piece right now. Because things change too fast and
Too
too
fast,
quick
yeah.
right now. So yeah, it's of course open-minded important. So that's the green flag for Denise from the view. For me, the green flag as the leader that I'm going to working with, I will always looking at how they treat everybody around them. Maybe it's just something that I do myself, so I'm kind of care how the people do. Like you be with me and my team all the time, right? A lot of people ask me that, like, why do I wake up early morning with my team? I eat with my team from breakfast, lunch to dinner. I always there in the room for them. If I'm in Vietnam, I always with them all day, all night, right? I make sure I'm the first to wake up and I'm the last to go sleep. And they ask me why, but for me it's a sign to show that you really value the work you do. Are you a top guy that point finger and people have to do for you, or you there with them to face the challenge and support them? So for me, that's the first thing I care, who you are as a leader. And second thing, that how you treat your loved one. We're not talking about people who have, you don't have family, often no children, no grandparent. I'm talking about in general. And I think that's also important to me. You can don't have good relationship with them, but don't have good relationship with them different with how you treated them. Does that make sense for you? So it's not the same. So yeah, that's the two thing that I look at the green flag for the leader that I watching before I decide to work with.
Mm. So it's kind of like how you filter
Yeah,
who you work with.
yeah,
Mm. I think that is very important because it shows at the end of the day how a leader will lead and how he or she will behave. It depends from their character.
mm,
So what you're observing is actually their character, right?
yeah,
So this is interesting. Talking about character, right? This morning we went to an
yeah.
AI event,
We just
and
back from my AI event today.
that's why I look different. I'm not dressed in white today.
Yeah,
So it's an AI event. But what's most I will talk about not the event itself, but what we met when we wanted to take photos.
mm,
Do you remember the gentleman who wanted us to take photos? And I think that is a true mark of one of the marks of leadership. We didn't know, we just because he was helping other people take photos. So we were like, oh, can you help us take two? Then we realized on his tag it says he's a speaker.
yeah. He's a speaker.
That means he must be very busy and he
Yeah,
has somebody waiting for him also. So we were like, okay, I'm so sorry that help us take photos. But he didn't mind. He did it very graciously
mm,
and gentlemanly, and he took many photos actually.
mm.
He could have just anyhow taken one and then just given back, but he took photos and he tried to make sure that the
It
background
can
is
be
in,
used.
it can be used, different angle. He tried to, I think, four or five,
Yeah,
top, bottom, middle, bottom, and so
yeah,
like he tried to capture what is a nice angle. And I thought for me that is a good sign of a good leader. That is somebody that is willing to help other people. Um, when they can, and also somebody who is gracious.
yeah,
I think gracious is very rare in this society, especially if you are so called somebody big, right? You're
yeah.
a speaker, you're being invited, you're probably busy, etc. I don't think he probably doesn't stay here. So well, for me that was a big lesson for me.
Same, right? What you do, anything is how you do everything.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, if I'm on his team, I can imagine him coming down and just helping his team. Like, okay, you have this problem. What can we do to solve it?
Yeah,
Then he will offer maybe experience, his advice.
yeah.
So from that one, actually, you can tell what kind of person he is, and therefore what kind of leader he or she is going to be.
And I feel like now, right, when the rising up as a leader, never be before the quality of the leader come from a human understanding is way above.
Mm,
Because in the past you may have a system issue, right? So
mm,
you need to handle a lot of human and you
mm,
don't like it, so you add a lot of system in place
mm,
so don't have to deal with human.
mm,
But now when all that system in place replaced by AI,
mm,
you actually have a very little small group of people that you were working with. How do you make them become productive?
mm,
How do you, like, I'm just saying easy for me to, like, example, I use GPT a lot to do a lot of work by myself, draft work before I pass to my team.
mm.
It's like my boyfriend, my assistant, my best friend, my my soulmate, whatever that you calling, right?
The one that she chats to the most often.
Like brainwash. Sorry, brainstorm would be brainwash.
Brainwash.
Brainstorm
Maybe you
with
should try
me.
one day to brainwash her duty.
Yeah, the
That would be
ChatGPT already
interesting.
brainwashed by me. It's I say tell me about who am I after you
Uh,
have so many months of conversation with
Information
it. Yeah,
about you, yes.
it can actually give you very precise who are you as a person. And I say you're always very kind and polite, and when you request from me you always ask me for detail and detail and detail, and you want it fact, you don't want it to be create
Emotional or
emotional or
whatever.
anything. It mean you very value of true knowledge. And so it quite smart.
Mm.
It know your button of talking. And sometimes Ava use my GPT, right? So it can tell that I can tell when you use your chat GPT and when Ava use. So when Ava use, I can tell this what the word she always use. Then they give it example. So it can separate, right? When
Even if you're using the same conversation.
yeah, if, even you use the same account, GPT can tell, oh, this is not how normally she talk, right? And
Somebody else is talking.
yes,
Okay.
but also very interesting because you use that and and then I ask back question like, then how about in general how people
Mm.
use it? So you can tell a lot of ugly thing about human, because I
Mm.
say I'm allowing you to tell me, I don't feel offended and all
Mm.
that. So I say in general human, most of the time human is lie. So they say they know how to detect if human lie. For
Huh.
example, after few time that person going to talk to ChatGPT, if 10 sentence you say, 9 is already lying.
Uh,
GPT will book you in the high risk of not trustworthy
yeah.
information. So people like me, right, when I give them feedback, I will screenshot of the data, the information, the papers research. They will book me at the higher trustworthy person.
Mm.
So the honesty of how you communication with ChatGPT will book you data in the group of trust. You trustworthy for AI to learn from you, or you're not trustworthy, you just trash, right? So it's very interesting because when you have this kind of conversation, you realize that AI actually study back you. Like they want to know who are you as a
Yeah.
person. Anyway, where are we talking? Why I'm bringing you to my best friend?
Because we love our AI.
Yeah. So about human and system. So I
Mm.
realized that right now my system may become, basically we use the word make it simple and stupid.
Mm.
And I really make it simple and stupid. Like just say the bot that I give to
Mm.
you to try to do a
Mm.
personality test.
Mm.
That's the thing that I'm talking about. I solve the problem about system. I don't need human to sit with me
Mm.
to help me to give people the file, do the test, give me the result. I book it, I key in, it get me the whole set of result.
Mm.
All that now is done by the bot. Of course, the bot chat is done by a human, but I
Mm.
just need one IT guy, you see,
Mm.
and I train him so he know exactly what need to do.
Mm.
I contact him, he prepare for me everything. His set become a set. It means the person key in, come the result, come out the result will talk to the next
Mm.
bot chat, and the bot chat will print out the result. It send to email, and the printer just have to print out, and then that's it. So whatever step that I used to need like at least 4 person to
Mm.
follow up with one student,
Mm.
I don't need to do that anymore. So that's why I'm saying it's a more, you know how to tap on the advantage of um, technology.
Mm.
You want to reduce a lot of system of human involved, but at the same time now you only have quality human work with you. How are you going to improve your quality of productivity? That's what I'm
Mm.
trying to say, right? It's like how can you make your team to get used to AI and use it and use a spare time to do things more productivity.
Mm. And I think okay, so this is something that I feel like a great leader in these times should have is creativity.
Mm,
Creativity not in terms of using things, but creativity in terms of how you can fit AI into your business, how you can fit your team together so that you have different people that is working together for a common goal. Because somebody that's good in numbers may not be so good at creativity, and somebody who's good at creativity not so good at numbers. Something like that. And another thing that I feel also from the show that we just watched, a sign of a great leader, this is quite hidden. It only happens when you do very well. If one of the signs of a great leader, I personally feel, is when the person that is leading and training you sincerely wish for you to be better than him or her,
mm,
and not just say I hope that you're better. And then when, because the show that we watch talks about a master and a disciple, the master teaches the disciple something over many years, and one day
15
the
years.
yes, 15 years, and one day the disciple finally beat the master.
Yeah.
So in the show, you see the master go through some emotional changes, which is normal
Yeah, of course.
because both sides will feel something. But it's about emotional management, stability, and then after that he comes back, and then the student and the master come back together again. I think so. That was how the show ended, lah. And
Yeah.
I felt from there I also learned that a good leader, a truly good leader, actually really wishes for his or her people that he or she's training to really surpass them, and not just I hope you're doing well. And then when they really do it, you're like, then you see there are some,
The jealousy come up, the
yeah,
power
I don't
game.
think these are really good leaders.
Yeah,
They just want control.
yeah.
They want control. They are not great leaders, I would feel. They want
You know,
control.
that movie is really, I don't know, is that good to show you how much I went through, right? When every ceiling I break through, at the same time that
I don't
every,
think it showed the depths that you went through, but I get
yeah,
what you mean. It's like a surface.
yeah. It's like you have, like sometimes mentor or master or people who teach you something, you respect them very much. And then you hit the level of you understand beyond what they're sharing.
Mm.
And now it basically you can see through every move they do.
Mm.
Are you going to be accepted they flaws and they strength and they weakness?
Mm.
Are you going to be okay to move on?
Mm.
And are you okay to accept them for who they are? Because the end they're human, they're not perfect.
Mm.
But at the same time, if you're going to surpass them,
Mm.
you will know that you will have a terrible consequence. You will feel bad inside because they treat you like you learn something and you
Uh,
better than other
mm.
person. You deserve to get punished. You should be always below someone. But you see, the world don't work like that, right? And
Mm.
I look back all the story I hear, like just say Elon Musk,
Mm.
when he start creating better than NASA,
Mm.
and he did share one thing on the show before that he's here, right? He said he used to look up onto all these people so much because they are the reason why
He started
he
this.
started this, he learned science, and he's so motivated. But when he entered to the game, he realized that they have so much power and system in place that he can never contribute his idea to NASA. That's why he had to open his own.
Ah.
And that's to show you that when you're young, you look at all these people, you may very motivation.
Mm.
You want to be as close as possible to them.
Mm.
You want to learn as much as possible to them.
Mm.
But the ego of the master is real, right? That's why
Mm.
one of the book I read also they're talking about that, like 49 something, I forgot already.
49 something.
That you should never be better than your master if you're in the same environment.
Ah.
If you're in the same environment with the master, you should always below them. If you want to be better than the master, you should exit the place where the master around and you build your own.
You play your own game now, basically.
Yeah. If you still under the master, and I saw that through his story of my life, I always hit that ceiling. That I just learn quick and I know faster than other people how to play the game. And you can see like my 24 hours per day I do anything faster than people.
Most of the time, yeah.
That is the issue, right? You like people expect you to be slow. And sometimes you move too fast, people like, oh, she move again,
Mm.
right? It panic people. And but the only way for you to know if the system work or not, you have to try it.
You have to test it.
You have to test it. You have to do it, and then
Mm.
you know that if you fail or you not fail. I'm just lost of count what how much thing I fail. You see, I fail every single day. Something I'm trying. Like right now, Vietnam they ban Telegram, so my team try to move every system to the WhatsApp and also preparing for the website, but the user of the number of people is so big that we may concern that the website will be crash or
Mm.
something, right?
Mm.
So we have to test and do a lot of things. But to show you that in certain situation, like now it's 27, they say 2nd of June they will ban completely
Oh,
Telegram in
that means
Vietnam.
Telegram cannot be used by the
Cannot.
team anymore.
Yeah. So we face a real situation of the whole system shut down. So 9 million Vietnamese people use Telegram. 70% of that is used for bad user. It means they use for scammer, they
Scam.
use for
No.
the bad use.
Mm.
So only 30% is the good people who like us run business and affected by that.
Mm.
So you see when you go through this competition of the platform have no right or wrong. It's a
It's a
moral,
tool.
the moral behind of how you use it,
Mm.
right? But it did the bad person do something about it affect the good person? Yes. So
Mm.
that's the question I want to send to good people, right? They just say, oh, I don't want to be involved there, but your life will continue to be affect. As a leader is the same, right? If I know that all these leader that they don't want a young leader to rise up is the wrong decision, Because you need to know when you keep people small and you kept people small, the risk of your seat get taken over by evil is also very high,
Mm.
right?
Yes.
Because who will protect you?
Yeah.
When you live in the crappy society, crappy leadership, it means, oh, you better than me now, I pull you back. Okay, I like you better than me, right? It's like if forever the game of crap,
Mm.
the crap, right? You pull the next crap down. So I come back to that. If you are, if you're going to go to this game of leader, you also need to know the next phase that you have to hit. If somebody else raising you and they still have not completely fig- figured out their ego, that will be the next challenge for you. Oh my
Yeah.
god, I'm scared people right now. Now nobody want to be leader. Just be leader, like you will face it, but it will be
No,
fine.
I think whoever is meant to be a leader, you will get a calling. You will feel sometimes like you want to play bigger. There's
Mm,
a desire inside, and it doesn't matter whether you okay. You have you ever met those people that they live their life very small, nothing wrong with it,
mm,
but they end up when they grow older, they become very bitter,
yeah.
very resentful. These are the people who are born to be leaders,
Mm,
but because of certain decisions that they make, they decided to play small and safe and stable. Because with leadership comes great risk.
mm,
The bigger the team you lead, the greater the risk. I'm sure people you know that by now.
yeah.
So there are some people who decide to play safe, but if they are not meant to play safe, they will grow very resentful, very
Yeah.
bitter. Because there are some other people who play small, but they grow life gracefully because that is how they are supposed to be in this life. And I think that's okay. So if you feel yourself getting frustrated with how small and safe your life is, maybe it's a signal for growth.
Yeah.
I think that's a good signal for growth. Try something new, learn something new. You don't know where it's going to take you, and there's many kinds of good leaders out there.
Agree.
Okay, this is something that I also want to ask you. Since
Yes.
somebody asked the question for me, I will now spotlight it, and then ding ding ding. Okay, what is this? Da, 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 da. There's a question that I saw that I wanted to talk
From the
about.
top, you can just
Okay, this is the one I'll talk about because you
okay.
train leaders, right? So this is a question that I'm always very curious about. They are not officially leaders, but yeah, how do you know? Because you meet so many people and you um and that okay,
Well,
there's
everybody asked me this question. This is not first time, but I will stay with
come
you
share
now.
with me because I never asked you that question.
You just know. I'm sorry, but that's a true answer.
So helpful.
You just know.
uh,
I think this is my gift
uh,
that
this is her gift, not everybody can use it that
yeah,
way.
no, not everybody. I think God born me to create leader and train leader. And for me to create leader and train leader, first I need to spot who is a leader. I can walk to the room and I can go one round with my student and I can just see how they behave in the table. I know exactly this person born to be a leader
Or not.
or not. And sometimes in class you cannot have too many leader. You may spot maybe like three or five. But the risk of like you have three or five in class did not mean after that they walk away from class, they commit to be a leader, they commit to learn to be a leader. It's like I find a piece of stone.
Inside there's a
It
diamond.
exactly can I like the commitment of going to sharpen that
Cut open the
stone, cut open
stone,
it, make it day and night to become like
polish it.
polish it. Yes, it's a I cannot do it myself. I can
Mm.
tell you that you're born to be a leader. Are you going to train to be once? I cannot do for you because I know how tough was that to be a leader, right?
Ah, yes, that's right.
So I know, right? Even I have in the house and I know, right? It's like to be honest, in my house there's three leader. I know that woman is born to be a leader too, but her kind of leader, my helper, I know that where she wants to be a leader, right? She's not a normal person. She's smart.
Mm.
She know what she want. She know how to request. Normally helper they quite like they don't ask for things. They just whatever you give me, you give.
Mm.
But she learned over years,
Mm.
right? Only leader learn over years and then want to be better and want have a better life,
Mm.
want to have a freedom. If people ask me the secret of keep a good people work for me is I only work with leader and I give them a lot of freedom.
Leaders all need freedom. That's why they are leaders.
It's have some kind of addiction behind your freedom
Mm.
that you give to a leader. As the moment you give them freedom plus authority and the power to make a decision,
Mm.
you will surprise that they will be around you because you
Suddenly they can make good decisions.
exactly. So but first you need to aware that that is really a leader first, right? Then yeah, I know my answer is not useful for people,
Okay, maybe
but
I.
I just know really. I just know like I just for example I meet her I know. I don't know how I know, right? We learn so many class. I can ask many people to do show with me. Why it's her?
Oh, her is me now? Oh, not Maya. Okay, sorry.
No, now it's come back to you, right?
Okay.
So I'm just saying like how do I know that she have something potential? And the more I work with her, I like okay, she will be a leader but much older.
Later,
She
later.
still have a lot to
I have
learn.
a long way to go.
But by the time she there, she can. Right?
Mm.
She will kind of like you know, you meet Mara. So that's what I'm talking about. You will have your own way of own the place, but
Mm.
you are. So it's the same. Where's my little monster? She go already?
She in the room.
Okay, I don't want her to hear, but
I'm gonna tell
she
you a secret now. ASMR time.
so she also a leader, right? But the part of I don't want to give that in her brain so early, kid, because I
She
don't
not
want to
ready.
label
Yeah,
her.
yeah, 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 yeah.
First of all, because I'm a psychologist, I know how dangerous was that you label someone.
Childhood
Second,
labeling.
you only can guide, right? And one day she will own it by herself. But right now I know she just different style with me, but she have it. Then you will ask me, do you know that from the moment you give birth to your kid? No, I don't. I just figured out that for the last 2 years.
Mm.
So she just start show in the primary two.
Mm. She has.
Primary one just say just a warm up,
Mm.
new environment, new learning. But after the last two, I'm like, okay, she have potential. So that's how I see in somebody, right? You straight away see it. For kid, it's very hard because kid is still very young. They still develop.
They are still changing all the
They're
time.
still changing all the time. But for adult,
It's very obvious.
you give me the kids 16, 19, 20, I can tell you straight
I think
away.
16, 15 already can tell,
Yeah,
more or less.
you can tell. Yeah,
And okay, so maybe I give something a bit more concrete.
yeah.
Because she's talking about it from a leader trainee point of view, right? You know, I have always been against the idea of being a leader because of my lovely liking towards responsibility and taking care of other people and have other people depending upon me.
Yeah.
I don't like that. And I realized, okay, when I first, okay, this is very interesting.
But you know, you always can be a leader, but you don't have to take care of it.
Yeah, but I also feel like be a leader means it's maybe it's my story, but I feel like a good leader is able to take care of the
It's not true
people.
because I cannot take care of it.
Not okay,
You
not
see
take
when
care
you
means feed them. I don't mean that. Take
no
care
take
means
care here is again. You see, I only can take care of my group of leader.
then they will take care of other.
Exactly, that's their task.
Yeah.
So their job is make sure people that they on top of them, they taking care of well. The next group will be taken care well.
Then it goes layer by layer. It's like
Exactly.
a
That's
waterfall.
how. Actually that's a theory in leadership.
It's a champagne tower. You pour from the
You
top.
only can take care 10 people and less than 10
Yeah,
people.
maximum.
If you want a quality of people around you, that's how much you can. You want to be a shit leader, please take care of 1,000 people.
By yourself.
Exactly, because that's is the sick kind of greediness of power.
It's the
You
old
want power,
kind,
that's why
yeah.
you want to take care of
I want
everybody. You
power,
can't.
control, influence. Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe not, but recently I've come to realize, okay, the reason why okay, this is quite recent that I come to think, why do I have something against leadership? Because like I said, I'm afraid of making a mistake for myself, not just for myself. For myself, I think it's fine, but I understand since young that I have the ability to influence and persuade people.
Yeah.
Does it make sense? Like when I say something, I can say it so convincingly, whether it is real or not, I can say it until so convincing that people will follow me. And I think since young I have the ability, but I did not have the information or the knowledge or the emotional maturity to have substance behind what I say.
Yeah.
So there are many times where I let people or I influence. I cannot say I'm the leader, but I know that the group took that decision because of certain things I said,
Mm.
certain influence that I made, and that's why they did that. And it was not a good decision. It did not bring the group to where we wanted to go.
Okay.
Yeah, that was, and that I realized that was a problem. That was one of
Well,
the
that's not a
reasons why.
problem because if I would tell you another side of story that you never hear, and today I would love to contribute to you that.
To my learning journey.
So all these kids who are so dumb that the parent did not teach them how to deal with social life,
Mm.
everybody tell them something and they listen like an idiot, then it's not your problem.
Mm.
You see, like I can twist your story and make you sound like whatever you say is nice to hear, but it's not true because every story have a two side of story.
Yes, correct.
That's why you see when I train leader, I always tell them the whole point of your leader have to be strong because tomorrow you will die. And from day one, that's what my teamwork is. You know, you ask Sung, Yan, or Tina. The sentence they book on their phone or even their dash is tomorrow if you die, can this system still run?
Mm.
And I tell them from day one, I say I can die in the next 24 hours. You're going to make a lot of decisions without me. That's
But
the
the
risk we
system
have
will
to
still
do.
run.
Even tomorrow, Tina going to die. How was the rest of us can take it by
Take over.
information?
Mm.
Son can die tomorrow. How can the whole IT system? That's from day one we work. And trust me, if tomorrow I die or any of my team member die, the whole system still can run
Mm.
because when we create that, we create with responsibility. We want to create the next leader who have enough information to can handle the problem. And as
Mm.
long as we are, that's why you should don't be afraid to be stronger, and you should don't be afraid for your team to be stronger.
For those of you who are still struggling with the fear, yeah, this is for you.
Yeah. So that's why I say your story is nice to hear, but the truth is,
Yeah,
for to solve the
that was my
problem,
side. Yeah.
to solve the problem is very simple. Make everybody work with you as strong as you or stronger than you.
Yeah. And the first thing before you can make other people stronger or whatever, for me I also believe in making myself better,
Yeah.
right? Making myself better. And then how okay, my first the first sign that I am a leader, was a leader, whatever it was during one of the classes that we went for, one of the developmental classes we went for.
Mm.
And in that group, I was not a leader because that group was supposed, in the games that we play, one of the people in the team is supposed to be named as the leader. I did not want to be named as leader. Somebody else wanted to. I was like, great, take it. I'm not interested, right? But then the stress came, the game went on, and it was a show. It was a show. It was everybody just all around the place. The leader was not being very leader like flustered, don't know what's going on, and unable to cope with so many different information at the same time. And then unknowingly, I stepped up and I just guided the team to the purpose that we wanted to, the goal that we wanted to complete. And I did not even know I was doing that until the debrief time. Somebody else from my team said, actually, um, even though Denise is not a leader in name, but she was the one who helped the team get to our goal, complete the goal of the game. And at that time, because I was not ready to hear that, I was like, oh, it felt good, but it did not strike me inside. Does it make sense? Yeah. And then that was the first sign. The first sign. The second sign is during our dear Dion's class.
Mm.
I think I would say I also helped to influence the team to move a bit faster,
Mm.
which is what that team needed.
Mm.
Basically, a good leader is also somebody who can see the gaps.
That's
And
why I told you that you think that you need to fit people to be a leader. It's not true.
yeah, no,
Sometimes you just need to know that you monitor a lot of things and then you motivate people. True. Sometimes I come back, I just sit there and
sometimes
I
you
just
just need your presence.
yeah, they just need me in the room
They
and
just need your
somehow
energy. They
like
suck your
can
energy from you.
and they move their ass like a book of fire in the backside.
Then you just stare at them. Yes, and
Yeah,
what are you doing about it?
yeah,
So so I realized that I think that's also a good hallmark of a good leader. You can see where the gaps are, and you either find someone else that is good at that gap to
mm.
go in, or you can, if you are good at it, then you can go in yourself. So yeah, that was a good it was a very good learning for me. And I guess, well, whatever, if it happens, it happens. All right. That's for leadership. Okay, that those are the green flags. I'm going to say, okay, is there anything you want to talk about here? Hang
It's
on.
so many questions you choose.
Ba ba ba. This was the one that
You see what we have not answered or worth of our response.
what type is their leader? Yes, okay. Ba ba bam bam bam. Oh, okay, this is very good. This is something that let's talk about. In high pressure, yes. As I think leadership is important, especially in high pressure situations or situations where things are unclear. There's a lot of emotional upsets going around. Everybody is running around like a headless chicken. In your organization, it's many times happen. The leader is the one that needs to keep the head on. And I will not, okay, in this question, I will change it. Let us not use emotional intelligence. Let us use emotional stability.
Mm,
Because a lot of the times you think about it, whether it's in your personal life or if you are already working for someone, when there's a poor decision that is made, it's usually because there is emotional instability.
mm,
And then on hindsight, you look back, you will be like, that was obviously a poor decision. Why did we decide to do that? Because emotions were high, they were unstable, you were upset, angry, sad, whatever it is, your emotions were not stable. So emotional stability is very important in leadership. In high pressure situations, the leader is the one that needs to be calm. You need to be the most calm of all. Look at Anne's face when there's a disaster happen for her. She'll be like, okay, what are the facts? What do we have here? What is the problem?
yeah.
And then you can see the problem.
I think that's my super strength also. When problem come,
The
the
bigger the
more
problem, the
the
more
more
calm.
calm I am. Yeah, I think people not close to me, they don't believe. They would think like, "Wow, she must be panic." No, the more like even the problem is so big that normal people cannot take it. You ask Denise. I'm not even call anyone for crying. Like most people come here because they worry for me. I will just
I
let me.
need to fix it.
I solve problem, but then 6 month, 8 month later, then now let me. Now I can
Deal with emotions.
deal with the emotion.
Mm.
I think that is the thing that I'm trained myself, but at the same time, that is a skill as a leader you need to have.
Mm.
You should be the last person to release the emotional.
You should be the last person running around.
And sound like it's so bad, right? But when you choose to be a leader, you don't deserve to a crying baby in front of the public until everything sort it out, and
It's
then
settled. Yeah.
now you can spend much time for yourself to heal, to go to all this,
Mm.
and that's a skill you need to train yourself.
Mm.
I will have a breakdown when I need to, but that is a way after all this like 6 8 months, and even that happened, nobody should know. The people who know, it should be people who trustworthy, that knowing you long enough to
Mm.
go through things with you and understand,
Mm.
i'm more I'm more worried when people don't have the break down or cry or feel need to
Mm.
release, right? Because
Mm.
that's more scary.
Mm.
So as the leader, I'm saying yes, you need that, but not in the moment.
Yes, you need that. But later on,
Yeah,
or when you have time.
yeah. So that this can be trained.
This
It can be trained, and you can be trained yourself.
yes. Take 3 deep breaths. If you have a kid, you're already being trained.
Yeah, you just give birth to one. Book her name Ava. Trust me, you will train so well. Your emotional intelligence or patience to human on
If
earth.
you have 2 or 3 kids,
If you have
even
two or
more.
three, Ava, I think you want to suicide it. So don't. Just once. One should be
I
enough.
think just kids generally will help you train. Because
Yeah, I don't
there are
blame
a lot
her.
of
Two
times
of
I'm
you.
sure as parents you just look at your kid, you're like,
Yeah.
I cannot believe you came out for me. But because you're my kid, I will not do something terrible to
Exactly.
you. And then you learn to breathe before you talk.
Yep.
And that is, I think, the first step that we all need to learn. If you want to be a leader, you need to breathe before you talk. And yeah, it will start with strangers because it's easy to have patience with strangers, people you don't know. And then slowly you'll move friends, close friends, family, and loved ones. That will be the last test for you, right? That will be the last test for you. Like, okay, how do I not say something that will worsen this? Okay, so those are all the great signs of a great leader. If you are looking for red flags, it's very simple. Whatever we said earlier, you just opposite is the red flag. Someone who doesn't want to learn, who is close-minded, who is jealous, who wants control, who is not happy for you when you are better than them. All these red flags. Okay? I think this is it for today's episode. What do you think?
Yep.
Is there anything else
Yep.
to add?
No.
No. Okay, I guess this is it for today's episode. I hope that you enjoyed our conversation today as usual. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe on all our social media channels.
I am in the spice.
And I'm Denise the Nice. Let's see whether we have outro today.
That's the conclusion of today.
How
Don't
to
forget
start
to
it?
like, share, and subscribe.
You are?
I am in the spice.
And the stubborn one. I am Denise the Nice. We will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.